Hello shooters, I'm Dr. Tactical, and today I want to pick up where I left off from SHOT Show 2024. It's been a year, I'm now at SHOT Show 2025, and I'm revisiting Bilson Arms. So in 2024, I did a review on the Bilson Arms forward charging AR-15. I got to tell you, it's a brilliant, brilliant design. I didn't understand it when I first came across it. I didn't get it. I didn't understand the benefit of it, and I didn't fully understand what it was, because I was thinking of it as a pump action. And a pump action, which does exist. There are AR-15s that are pump action. I don't know if they're technically AR-15s because they're not semi-automatic rifles. But they look a hell of a lot like an AR-15, but they have a pump in the front. And the rationale is they are single action, not the one we're talking about today, but the other, the pump action, is a single action rifle. So you shoot it, then you pump it. And when you pump it, that ejects the round that's in there and loads the next round from the magazine, and then you take your next shot. So it is not a semi-automatic rifle. That is not what we're talking about here. A forward charging, which is also a pump action, it's just not the gun's action, it's just the action you're doing with the pump, is still a semi-automatic rifle. It's just anytime you would normally use the charging handle, instead you're going to use the pump in the front. Why? Why would you do that? Well, I'll tell you why. I'm going to show you a video of me shooting out in the desert at SHOT Show 2024. Because what they did is, in the magazine, they loaded dummy rounds. They mixed them in. And what happens is you're shooting along and everything's going all hunky-dory, and then all of a sudden, you pull the trigger and click. Nothing. Nothing happens. Well, now what? Now you want to get the next round in. You pull forward, you're off target, you load, and you're back in the game. Well, if you had a forward action, like a pump, and you pull the trigger and nothing happens, you just do that, just that action. Or actually, it's you pull down and go forward is how they have it set. And you never take your eye off the prize, and you're right back in the game. You're right back on the shot. So let's take a look at what that looked like in the desert.
You have a good dummy round you want to use real quick, gentlemen? We're going to load you up a couple dummy rounds.
Okay.
You got two dummy rounds in there. Maybe three, I don't know.
All right.
Clear. You got all three dummy rounds.
So that's really nice.
Yeah.
You don't have to come off. You keep your eye right on there. That's a really nice feature. Now keep in mind, I didn't know what I was doing. They just sort of loaded that in and sort of surprised me with it. But I immediately understood the benefit of it. And I'm sure with practice, I could be really good with that, or as good as I can get. Anyway, bottom line is, it's a really well thought out device. And I see, I saw over the last year, when I look at the comments, that come through, there's a lot of misunderstanding. And some of that's my fault, because I did refer to it as a pump action a couple times in the video. And I didn't mean the action of the gun was the pump, which is what I really want to be clear on. It's the action of the charging handle. So instead of having a charging handle, it's all up in the front. It's a game changer. I have to say, it was brilliant. So most of the people who didn't like it were really referring more towards the pump action, which I think that's more designed for the unfriendly states where you can't have a semi-auto. So that's the next best thing. But that's not what this is. This is a fully semi-automatic rifle, where instead of when you need the charging handle, you just go for the charging pump in the front. It makes a lot of sense. Now, other people didn't like it, and their rationale was a little weaker. I got a lot of people who picture themselves as operators or whatever, and they're like, I've trained all these years on the AR-15 style, I can do anything with it, I'm not interested in changing my, the technique. All right, whatever, you're old and do your thing. But those of us who are interested in new, in newer and better, I do think there's merit, definite merit, and it's something you may want to look at, and that's Bilson Arms. Now, they also had at that booth last year in 2024 a device that I did not care for at all, and that was a rotating buttstock. So what I have here in front of us is this is a SIG, this is the Copperhead K, so basically the MPX. And a lot of them come with, this is an arm brace, so this is not a rifle, this is a handgun. But this really demonstrates it, because a lot of people have complained, people who have accidentally missed their arm completely and slipped and had this thing hit their shoulder. It's really a pain in the ass, this rotating thing. I don't know anybody who likes it. And the fact that they came up with the idea of making a rotating one concerned me, because I was like, that's undesirable in my world. And they explained, well, the benefit of it is if you want to, if you're using a 45-degree or offset backup sights, or just sort of to maneuver around, it's quicker to be able to turn like that. And in theory, I accept that, but I have to tell you, this thing sucks on the SIG, and nobody likes it, and it gets stuck in different positions, and you put it up, and it's again, it's hard to get it on your arm when you're doing that. But here's the thing. They gave this more thought over the year. And this year when I went back, they actually had made some improvements. And they have their Gen 2 rotating stock. And what they did is they put a locking mechanism. So if you don't want it to rotate, you can lock it out. And they also designed it so after it rotates, if you pull it away from your shoulder, it springs back to center. So it's not off cockeyed. That made a big difference. And then they also had at the booth this year some very economical silencers, or suppressors. I did not have the opportunity to play with any of those, unfortunately, so I can't speak to them, but I do know that their cost was really impressive. So I would definitely, that was Bilson Arms. I was impressed with them. I'm going to let Jeremy there show you what I was looking at. Hello, YouTube. I'm Dr. Tactical, and I'm here at Bilson Arms again. I was here last year, and I've got Jeremy with me. Jeremy, walk us through this.
Right. Hey, thanks. So last year we had our forward charging rifles and our Gen 1 rotating buttstock. This year we have our SBR pistol versions. So these come in a 12.5-inch barrel and all of your standard AR-15 cartridge or calibers, along with the 9mm. So you can get an SBR or a pistol, however you want to order it. New also is rotating buttstock. So this is the Gen 2. This rotating buttstock has a profile polymer base, just like a standard adjustable carbine buttstock. However, we put the rotating feature on. It also has a return to center feature, so it's spring loaded and also locks out. So now you're locked in and it won't rotate. So that's really cool for this year. Gen 2, these will be out soon at all your gun shops, sporting goods stores. These are going to retail for around $125. Also, we have our suppressors. This is the Blue Collar Series suppressors. We call them the Blue Collar Series suppressor because they work really, really hard and they don't break the bank. This is the common person suppressor. Not everybody can afford $1,500 suppressors, and we recognize that. There was a gap in the market. These are retailing for $589.
Wow.
Lowers the decibels between 30 and 40 depending on barrel length and your cartridge. Not full auto rated. However, we've done 10, 15 mag dumps, 30 rounds, and they run fine. But we are not certifying them full auto. However, these are retailing for $589. So that's a really affordable way to get yourself into a suppressor, whether you're hunting, target shooting, or really, like, I use them to teach my kids marksmanship. Reduces the blast, decibels, recoil. So these are ready to go now. We're selling these, shipping these all over the country. So the Blue Collar Series suppressors from Bilson Arms, pistol versions, and the new Gen 2 buttstock. That's what we have new this year.
That's a lot. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. So I want to thank Jeremy at Bilson Arms. I want to thank you all for sticking with me and watching this episode. I look forward to talking to you in the very near future. I'm Dr. Tactical. Dr. Tactical, out.